Okay, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Perfect. All right, so more people can come over here. There's some room in the corner. Windows are open. A little bit more air, I guess. All right, guys, welcome to Pitchitto. This is our 37th event, and we're excited to have all you guys here today, so thank you very much for coming. If you guys can all do us a favor, it always helps if you guys social feed us out. You can find us at Pitchitto hashtag or Open People Network on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And we love all the posts and sharing. And if you guys can, add everybody in. We love to keep building up the community as much as we can. So, I'm sure some of you guys are all familiar with some of the fun tactics that we like to do to get the energy going and get everybody excited to why we're here tonight. And we're always here tonight because of you, because we're here for the entrepreneurs. So, to get started, share a little story. A few years back, it was probably 15 years ago, I was working in corporate world, and I went into a meeting and I tended to find less awkward ways to meet people. So while I was in the meeting, I walked up and I started high-fiving everybody. And I got a lot of weird looks. And one person stopped and turned to me and said, "Jeffrey, that's not very professional." And she was probably, or he, could have been anybody. They were probably right. And what I did was I gave her the high five and said, "You know what, we're here to have fun, we're here to work together, let's do something cool." And it worked out quite well. So I've kind of carried that through everywhere I go, and I think if you guys can turn around and give a high five to the person beside you, because it's fun, it's exciting, and you guys rock. High fives, get those hands up, man. Come on, let's do this, bam! And the way I call it is called the power of the high five, because everybody right now, from my point of view, you're all smiling, which means you enjoyed it. At least I hope you did. So, that's always a fun way to get things going, and hopefully you'll carry that through. I did actually have an interesting story. I was in Chihuahua, Mexico, about 6 months ago, and I did the same thing when I was speaking at an event. And an individual apparently really liked it, and he texted me a couple days later, and he said, "Jeffrey, I just pitched in front of this big room of investors, and I got them all stand up and give high fives." So it was amazing. And I said, "I like that, I like that. Is there anything I get out of this?" And he's like, "Yeah, send me a picture of him smiling." So I thought that was brilliant. So it does work, and hopefully share it along and pass it along. All right, so Pitchitto, what are we here for? What do we do? Well, our whole thing is we want you guys to spend less time trying to find money and more time growing your business. And I know that sounds daunting and it's tough, but we certainly do try to work our hardest to help you guys get better and ready for these people right here. And some of you out there that are investors as well. So, in total, we've done 51 events. We've had, I think it's 120 plus companies that we've had pitch at our events. It's been pretty exciting. After today being our 37th show, we've learned a lot, we've grown a lot, and we've certainly figured out ways to continue to cater and help you guys as we grow. And we continue to see what other cool things we can do in the future. And one of those things, there's some of the great brands we've worked with. Some of those great things are different venues that we're running, different places that we're going to be at. So next month we're going to be running 2 events, and they're going to coincide on the 13th and 14th. The one on the 13th is actually going to be with the Iranian Canadian Business Expo, and it's going to be running at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. So you guys can check that out and see the time and location that it'll be running at. So if you're more than welcome to come join us there. It is a free event. And the next day is going to be North York Civic Center. So we normally run at Toronto City Hall, but they're under renovations until January. And what is really cool is that we're going to be running every 2 months at the City Hall. So we'll be able to showcase more of you guys, whereas the last event we had 21 startups in the showcase with 3 companies pitching, and we're going to be able to have even more now. So it's getting to be quite the showcase for you guys to show your wares. So that's pretty exciting. Well, I think it is. So we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have our great sponsors. So we do have to thank my software company. If you guys want, we can thank them. They're cool people. our Skin and Par, the City of Toronto and Startup here, they all came on board to help us help you guys. Miller Thompson, they've been a great fan and help for over a year now. We do a lot of things with them, including deep diving and helping the startups get their business ready. Flow Water, who is a company we invested in multiple times, and they're also sponsored us since we started this event, which is pretty exciting for us. Blockchain Fortress, if you're ever looking to do anything in the blockchain space, these are the guys to talk to. Symbol, they're walking around. Sales, and the Lodge for having us here. So let's give them all a hand of applause because they're all. My business partner, Angelo, where is that guy standing? I can't see anything.
I'm so tall you can't see.
There it is. I saw a hand go up in the back. If you guys are looking to pick brains with an angel investor, Angel of the Year 2 years ago, that's Angelo Del Duca. He's in the back. And you should be able to find him. He's wearing the suit jacket, and well, he matches the picture at the front too. So.
Let me get on your shoulder.
And of course, the team that's helped us put all this together, we thank them for all their hard work and effort. And that would be Laura, Katrina, and Brian, who's on the camera. We thank you guys for helping us all on the way. Thank you. Woohoo! Let's cheers. Come on, yeah. So I kind of decided that today we needed to kind of make a nice little announcement, and we're excited about this. So I would like to thank one individual who has been very much a key piece to everything that we do at Hard Boot, which also transfers to OPM. And this magnificent lady is with us today, and she has also worked very diligently at all the things that we do inside of both companies. And she's become a great friend and a hardworking, beautiful asset into what we do every day. And we just wanted to thank and announce also that Laura has now been here for 5 years for Hard Boot, and she's now going to be the GM of Hard Boot. So I would like to thank her for all of her help. And I figured, where else can you do the announcement but in front of all you guys? So Laura's a hugger. She likes hugs, just like Angelo and Katrina and Brian. There's a hugging team, and they take all my hugs. So please feel free to go up and give them a hug and thank them for all the great things that they've been doing in the community too. So thank you very much, Laura, for being a rock star. There will be cake after. Any words, Laura? Do you want to say anything? All right, good. As long as we put you on the spot, it's perfect. All right, so hopefully everybody put their business cards in. We will do a draw, and the lucky winner will win a t-shirt. And, well, anybody that wins a t-shirt, I think that's kind of cool. So good luck to all of you. So we always have one thing that we want to talk about and kind of give an overview of something to think about. And some of you may have checked some of the videos that we've been doing lately on YouTube and post them on LinkedIn. And they're just little things to keep in mind when you're building a business. So my 1 minute pitch is on branding. And I've been seeing a lot of this lately, and I just thought, okay, we see branding every day, but that's not really where I was going with that. But the idea behind it was, what key things do we want to take away from what does it make to make a brand? And I think we all try to classify that we have something that makes a brand. I've got this name, and why is it not Airbnb, and why is it not Uber, and how do I get to be these? Well, these brands all started just like you have, and they've taken a long time to build a name. It wasn't overnight. And one of the key things that I think that stands out that we all have to keep in mind is, how many people here came for the first time tonight? How many people have come here from before? So you're probably looking at maybe a 70-30 split. 70% of people are new and 30% have been here before. So inside of that whole spectrum of branding, the people that have continued to come here, you start to recognize them. You start to get to know who they are. And eventually you start to talk to them and you start to get more in depth with them. And you start to feel connected. They say on average it takes 12 connections before someone will engage and react and help you in any way. So in a drip campaign, means that you're going to have to send somebody a phone call, text, all these different things 12 times. Which means that if you want to have effective branding, you have to start doing more outreach. So one of the things that you want to really use is that's why we all look for uniqueness. What is something that sets you aside? That you can focus on. What makes you different? So in the case of branding and coming out, that means going to, it doesn't mean you have to come to this event all the time, but that means going to something that you're passionate about, something that you believe in, something that's going to fit in your industry. If you're in the movies, go to every movie. Go to every meetup that has anything to do with movies. Find something where you can get known for what you're best at, and that's going to help you start to build a brand. And then sometimes we forget that. We just think because we built it that they should just come. When you build a restaurant on the street, they don't just show up and walk in. You have to have something that appeals to them. And if you continually are there, years to come, you'll start to grow a business. So you have to keep those things in mind. Have a why and a purpose. Why are you doing this? That will always help you further along when you understand the reason you have a business, which means you're going to dig into how your business is going to be successful. And as I mentioned, be everywhere and be known for something and work hard to support your brand. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a touch point to keep in mind when you are building your company. It's hard work, but think about, where do I need to be every day? What's going to get people thinking about my brand and me? Anyhow, thank you, and let's jump into why we're all here. So pitch format. We have 3 companies pitching. The pitches are 9 minutes. We say 11, but we shoot for 9. We have 3 advisors. They have 1 minute of feedback each. And it's non-solicited, so the startup is not able to say anything. They just say thank you. Reason being, we would be here all night if the startups were combating against the advisors on their opinions and their feedback. And sometimes Sherwin can get really nasty on those, so. But either way, they get 1 minute each, the thank you, and then we move forward to you guys for 5 minutes of feedback. And we love great questions, so please think about a question that you think is going to benefit them, but also it's a touch point. It's also a form of networking. It lets you guys connect with these people that are up on stage, and some of them might be their first time. Excuse me, so today we have a unique setup. We have 3 angels that are all from Maple Leaf Angels.
Not really.
Well, Sherwin's from York, but we're blending him in. He's going to be. He's a shaker. He's a shaker. So, and with the Maple Leaf Angels, I did want to say one quick thing about them. They are a very fast growing, largest in Toronto area, and they do have, what is it, the walk-in sessions? What day are those on? Office hours on Thursdays, where startups can walk in and they get to pitch for getting to the next stage within Maple Leaf. So there's a lot of good things that they're doing, and you got to reach out. Prathna's the person you want to speak to, and she's also, you guys won't believe this, she asked me if she could come up and do a little rap, but she can rap. So something unique about her. She's giving me that look. She's like, no, man, I was thinking like smaller crowd. I like big crowds.
I don't get paid enough for this.
What?
Or you get paid too much for this.
Okay.
Fair enough, fair enough. And Jeff is also from Maple Leaf, engineer, and Jeff has done many, many things. One including he's traveled around the world for a year, and he's quite the adventurous, so pick his brain as well. Smart guy, and engineers, they love working on everything, trust me. So reach out to him. Sherwin is a York Angel, has a software-based company that helps companies figure out problems from a database perspective. Is that right, Sherwin? Nailing it. Yes, I'm on bar today. Something unique about Sherwin? Sherwin, you're gonna have to tell me because I can't remember.
I play some tennis.
Good. He's good. He plays with Pete Sampras, and those guys are pretty intense tennis players. All right, so today's startups. We're going to have Stephanie, Dylan, and Chloe, and these guys are going to rock it out. So let's give a hand for these startups, and let's get this shaking. Stephanie, you're up.
You were very good. confirm. So I have a question for you, is co-founder a position? Because I think would argue. No, but it is that when you learn more, your position of co-founder. What? What does that mean about you? Come to us.
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm gonna be talking about bras, so please get comfortable. My name is Stefania. I'm the CEO and co-founder of House of Anesi. Anesi means comfort in Greek. And we design intimate apparel that is fused with high-tech technology and biomaterials to improve the health and wellness of women. Almost every single woman in here is unsatisfied with her bra, almost, 76% of us. You see, the problem is our bodies. Our bodies go through hormonal changes. So every time we get our period, we get a new birth control prescription, gain weight, start menopause, those factors will affect our body and breast size changes. So it'll make it increase and decrease, and then increase again. The second problem is that the current elastic straps that are used in bras are digging into women's shoulders. There's nothing innovative about them. And when a strap is digging into your shoulder for a very long time, it causes long-term dents, which you have to get surgically after repaired. The third problem is that we are currently in an industry that the average bra size in the States is a 34 double D. And in the UK, it's a 36 double D again. But mainstream lingerie stores, like Victoria's Secret, only offer up to 40 triple D, forgetting about the other half of the market. So what did House of Anesi do? We designed a high-tech instinct bra that will adapt to women's body and breast size changes, up to 2 cups and 2 band sizes, and it also reduces back pain. How do we do that? We use dual compression fabric technology, one fabric, 2 zones, a very strong one, a flexible one. It's antimicrobial and it has moisture wicking properties like any other apparel should have at this point. We use biocompatible and non-toxic gels, which we worked with a company in Germany, and we've placed them on the straps. So they release pressure points and reduce back and shoulder pain. And the last thing is that we created a 3D flexi wire, metal-free, patent pending, and it is supportive but is also conformable. So it works with the fabrics to do the adaptable factor. We also help women save money. We're basically telling them to buy one bra that's gonna adapt between 2 to 3 bra sizes and then go back to the original form. We're the first lingerie startup that from day one, we are offering sizes from a 30B all the way to a 42I, and we're only missing 6 more band sizes and 2 cup sizes that we wanna create in the next 16 to 18 months, depending on capital. We are not making a sexy push-up bra. We're not trying to target women that always buy from Victoria's Secret. That's an option. We are targeting women that want to buy a bra that's functional, it's comfortable and pretty at the same time, but they want to improve their health and wellness. That's the industry we're going after, not the lifestyle one. So we're trying to improve women's health and wellness. This bra is going to prevent them from red shoulder marks around their rib cage, on their back, and it will prevent inadequate lymph circulation. So that means when you wear something that's super tight, like a corset, and can't breathe and no blood goes through. So we're entering a market that in the States only is worth over $9 billion. And as I will mention afterwards, we're gonna be selling online. So the online lingerie market has an annual growth right now of 17%. So now you might think, oh, Steph, I've never heard a woman complain about her boobs getting too big. Well, it's not something that we come and just tell guys, we just keep it amongst ourselves. So we asked our community, a House of Anesi of over 200 members, to explain to us very quickly, when does that happen? So normally during their period or the first trimester of pregnancy, or just when they eat too much and they just get bigger. So we launched for the first time after 3 years of prototyping on July 31st. on Kickstarter and raised in 35 days over 90,000 Canadian dollars from 683 backers, selling approximately 800 bras. Oops. Before Kickstarter, we raised 88,000 from awards and grants, equity free, and we have some amazing advisors that are helping us out, Jacqueline, Tyler, and Karen, helping us with everything from growth strategies, marketing, branding, and manufacturing. And we're also incubated in the fashion zone, so we take advantage of all the advisors there too. Our business model, pretty simple. We're direct to consumer. People can only pre-order or order the bra from our website because they have to take an online sizing system that we've created by ourselves. And next year we want to partner up with online wellness distribution brands. We only have one color at the moment and 2 styles due to costs. But once we offer more styles and colors, we're going to offer an optional membership plan of $50 annually. All bras, no matter the size, cost $128. And we're also going to be having pop-up shops of our own or in collaboration with other wellness brands. No inventory. They come and try it on, and then they order the size that they need, and it comes straight to their house. Our current unit economics, So based with the numbers that we had through Kickstarter, our cost of goods were approximately 51 Canadian dollars. With the price that we had on Kickstarter, 98 Canadian, the discount price, our margins were 47%, and our acquisition costs were $23. We're aiming for next year to bring that down to $15. And once we start selling again as of January in the 128 price range, our margins go up to 60%. Our growth strategy. We're gonna be focusing in the next 2 years in Canada and the States, and then we eventually want to expand to the UK and Northern Europe. As we saw from our Kickstarter, a lot of backers came from there. We want to focus, of course, in influencer marketing, giving the bra out to influencers for free, and doing very targeted ads with Facebook, Instagram, and Google. The most important thing for us are going to be our partnerships with health and wellness brands, offering the bra and subscription boxes that are specifically in the wellness industry to broaden our audience, advertise on wellness podcasts, go to wellness trade shows, and also collaborate, as I said before, with wellness brands on pop-up shops. The last thing that we do is to educate our consumer, is we hold events called Appreciating Your Boobies 101, where women come and learn about breast health, and they come and learn how to love their body and their breasts, and basically just be happy with what they got, and also sell them the Honesty Bra. Very quickly about our competitors, the main ones I think most of you guys know are Third Love, Nixwear, and Wakal. Third Love is our biggest competitor in the States. They have a wide range, very strong presence on social media, and a lot of guys know them too, which is great. But they focus on software, and we focus on the main product to fix it. Nixwear, I added them because they're also Toronto-based. Very strong social media presence again, but they're more of a sports bra with no underwire. We're an everyday bra with an underwire. And then Wakol is one of the legendary competitors. They've been out there for decades, and it's known mostly from word of mouth, the grandma that had bigger breasts to the mother that had bigger breasts to the daughter that had bigger breasts. The team, we're 3 co-founders, very diverse, yay. We have backgrounds in fashion and engineering. From left, we have Lean. She is an expert in lean manufacturing, logistics and supply chain. I know. We got Jacob, the only man of the team, but he's our aerospace engineer, and he does all our financials and legal. He filed our patent and also designed the underwire. And then me in the middle, my background is in fashion technology, and I just try to get shit done very, very fast. So we were very, very blessed during Kickstarter to get media coverage worldwide. Some of the biggest ones were Teen Vogue, Bustle, Glamour, and Refinery 29. We've tested our product with over 30 women, and some of these women have been with us from the last 3 years that have tested all the prototypes that we've had. Oh, financials, very quickly. We're trying to raise $500,000 to finance 12 months to create 9,000 bras. which are gonna lead to over $1 million in revenue. Very quickly, our forecast at $128 price. We break even after our third year, depending on when we get this money. And also our current burn rate is approximately $11,000. Future plans. We want to add nude colors, of course, because we only have black right now, but we want to do that by creating or licensing a system that's going to detect the woman's perfect nude color and offer them that. We want to make a non-wired bra, so not using the underwire at all, so we can target women that are breast cancer survivors and also maternity, to create maternity bras. Oh yeah, and we want to acquire a lot of, or design our own health tech projects. So either acquire the projects that already exist out there, or hire the fashion technologists that created those products. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sherwin, yeah, you're up. You got your 1 minute. Let's hear what you got to say. Brian's turning on right
this
now.
is live. Okay. Excellent presentation. Really liked it. Very complete. You addressed the market, your product, your team, financials. Very, very good presentation. Specifically, some of the things some of the advice I have for you regarding partnering. Probably you want to look at some of the e-commerce sites, perhaps specifically with maternity and then baby monitors or something like that. Those sites might be good partners for you. And if you have a patent, maybe license the brand, the product itself to bigger brands and allow you to have higher volume. But on the team side, something might be interesting for you to think about. Like for example, Lululemon, the whole team is so amazingly engaged, and they're not just they're just the kind of it's beyond brand. It's like a culture, right? So something you think about when you build a team, and you want to get people really excited to push it from inside out.
As the only one on this panel really with subject matter expertise, I think you did a very good job, a good presentation, and I can understand the problem, so it's very interesting to hear what you have to say. What I did want to ask is, and I know you can't answer now, is you talked about competition. I wonder if, the problem that you identified, which is really the red mark zone, is no one actually tackling that? Because I noted in all three companies that you noted, there was an X next to them. So if not, then that's great. That's a clear opportunity you have there. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your IP and exactly what it covers. What I did note is that you talked about saving money, for women to save money. It strikes me that you might be trying to do too much there. This sounds like a premium product to me, in that it is sold at a higher price and doesn't necessarily need to be cost effective because there's an added value there. And the other point was around the $500K that you're raising. Investors normally like to learn what the terms are, valuation, instrument, and such. But I think you did a great job.
I'll echo that. You did a very good job. I like the energy that you had through the presentation. I think investors react to that. Let's just wait for that to go by. Because I'm not a subject matter expert by any means, I was going to focus on what an angel investor is looking for. So Prathna mentioned one thing, that what I find consistently with presentations and pitches is that the pitch doesn't talk about what the investor gets. So it talks more about what you need. So you need $500,000, and that's important. But what does an investor get in return? So that's either what piece of the company or what the terms that Prathna mentioned. That's important to an investor. So
Potential exit.
yeah, are you going to be acquired by another company? Is that your intention? If you are going to grow quickly, valuations as you move forward, are you going to need to get more funding? These are all things that angel investors are interested in, because that's how we measure success in terms of what we're doing. Otherwise, very good job.
Thank you, guys.
Is that right?
All right, who's got questions? Oh, Albert, one sec. Excuse me, sorry.
Hi, great presentation. I have three sisters, one mom and a wife, and that subject sometimes come to the table. One question that they were discussing one time is, this is a wireless bra, so it like, doesn't have a wire. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's easier to put in the laundry machine, wash it, dry it, and then have it clean, because hygiene is a big thing with bras and some of the discomfort that women have, right?
Yeah. So it's not a wireless bra. We want to do that in the future. It does have an underwire, but what our patent is on is that it's not a metal. It's a metal-free underwire. So our patent is actually on the composition of materials that we use, and we can use it both in injection molding and 3D printing. So yes, you can wash it, and also the finishes that it has with the antimicrobial finish and the moisture wickening properties help out a lot with that too. So they can say goodbye to boob sweat, for example.
Okay, who has another question? Raise your hand high, because I'm short. So how have you found, I'll throw a question out for you. How have you found in your Kickstarter on the global shipping of the product? Are you finding that it's pretty straightforward? Any issues cross-border? Everything's been working pretty seamless, and how did you go about that on a supply side?
Yeah. So right now for all our shipping, it was an extra cost on Kickstarter. So the people in Canada and the States, they were charged an extra $15. As well as the people in the UK and a few other countries in Europe that we were able to find deals. And then everyone else from other countries, they were charged $40. I think it was really helpful for us that it was from Kickstarter community, because they weren't scared for the extra $40. And we're working with a company in the States that's helping startups with shipping and warehousing and packaging in order for us to lower the cost. It's not going to be the prettiest package ever, like our first production run, but at least it gets the product there. And we'll put pretty notes in it.
Okay, great. Next question?
Can a panelist ask?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
How is the consumer market reacting to your price points?
So I think before Kickstarter, we wanted to be a lifestyle brand. And because we saw that women kept complaining, oh, it's too expensive, yada, yada. But the women that did actually subscribe to our email list and they actually did buy were women that had surgeries in their upper body. A lot of women that had surgeries on their shoulders. We had a lot of breast cancer survivors, and women that usually buy bra sizes that are over a 36G. So we did see more, and that's why we decided in the last a month and a half to go towards the health and wellness industry. They were more accepted of it. And also we had a lot of women that are sitting at executive roles in big companies. So they also had the income to buy it. And they were very interested in the technology behind it, because also their profession was in tech too.
Okay, one last question. Oh, good, I get to go again. So my question again, or another question is, based on the product and the fit that's going on that you're shooting for, is there an educational piece that has to come into this so that you can build the brand, because people obviously are so used to what status quo is, or are you finding that people are taking to you right away because they're like, you know what, this is a big problem, I need help, or are you really finding that you have to really play both sides of the market to get people moving forward faster?
The good thing is, because we've partnered up with UK lingerie designers, that she created the lingerie system in a way that is the normal one that everybody already knows. So there's nothing new for women to do extra steps other than take our sizing calculator online. So you still have to put your bend and bust measurement, answer some questions if you're pregnant or not, to know those things. But other than that, the way to find the bra size is the same as everything else. And as soon as we tell them it's an adaptable bra, they get the sense right away. But just in case, I think they need more education on the breast health part, the wellness and the health, and not so much about the actual bra. So that's why we have the Appreciating Your Boobies events, to educate them about their bodies and their breast health, and maybe give extra value to our product because of the price point it has.
Brilliant. Where can everybody find you?
houseofhonesty.com, or come talk to me after.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so in our next segment, we're going to do it's going to be a little bit of a change, a little bit something. Everybody know who Sunil is? Okay, now you do. This is Sunil. Sunil is from the Founders Institute, and today what Sunil is going to do is his team, which I believe there's 5? 5 of the team are going to come on up. Come on up, guys. And what they're going to do is they're going to do a 1-minute pitch. Each one of them. We're going to time them.
I'll just put this into context. So yeah, thanks JP. So my name is Sunil. We're actually club members here, and this is the first time we've done anything together. We both belong to the lodge. So we're doing simultaneous events tonight. We are on the 3rd. We're running one on the 2nd floor. So when you're done, you're welcome to come, and if we have any wine left, you're welcome to have it. We're launching our 11th cohort of the Founder Institute Accelerator, best described as a pre-accelerator, on Monday of next week. So there's 42 people who are coming to meet each other tonight and meet our mentors and our founders. And when we hit about 50 people, we're going to close the class and start on Monday. So if you want to launch a startup like these 5 fine people have done, you're welcome to join. By day, I run Techstars, the accelerator, and I'm also the host of the Collision Conference, which you've probably been hearing about, that's coming to Toronto next year. So Sajid is the new entrepreneur in residence. I just want him to say hello, and then he's going to run the 5 pitches. We're going to start with Delaney. We'll start with the women first. Delaney, then Michelle. Then we'll have Utsav, Karen, and Mohammed to close it up. 1-minute pitches. This is Sajid. We're on a tight time schedule here.
Thank you, guys. I was a co-founder at Movalytics, an AI company for movement tracking. And this is not a pitch, by the way. It's a 13-week program. It's an amazing program. If you have an idea, or you started with an idea and you're thinking of progressing that, come to Founders Institute. We're launching the program next Monday. Come to the floor below. So to start with the first pitch, I will call Delaney. Delaney. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Have you ever walked into a lobby of a luxury hotel and immediately felt calm, relaxed, and at ease? Isn't that how we should feel when we're at home? But we don't always invest in professionals to help us furnish and decorate our own spaces so that we can feel that way. And I want to change that. My name's Delaney, and I'm the founder of Decor. Think of Decor as a personal stylist for your home. So for a flat fee, you get a digital design plan. And that includes a style board that shows you what your room could look like, a shopping list that has links to everything that you need within your budget, a floor plan that tells you where to put everything, and step-by-step instructions from the designer on how to pull it together. And all you have to do is follow the instructions, put your room together, sit back, enjoy your beautiful room. It's that easy. So go check out daakor.com, decor.com. And if you're interested in joining our journey, come talk to me.
And your name is?
Delaney, decor.com.
Thank you. Next up.
Next up, let's have Michelle.
All right, Michelle Francis.
So I'm Michelle. I'm a film editor. I'm the CEO of sorry, I'm a little nervous here. I'm the CEO of Pitchitto. So recently I went to see my dad. He's 100 years old, and except there was a problem. When I arrived, he didn't recognize me. Now, there is a solution, there is a resolution to this problem, which I'll get to in a minute. But as a film editor, I've noticed that many of the stories that we tell tend to share a common story arc structure. So, in this age of video, it made me wonder, how can small businesses tell more compelling stories? So my company, Pitchitto, is developing a software that will help small businesses tell stories through video, and with using a patent-pending story arc creation format. So stories that have a struggle tend to make us care more. My father didn't remember me. So, not wanting to draw attention to his memory loss, I went outside and I did some planting for him, and I got really dirty in the process. But when I came back, my name is Michelle.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Michelle.
You.
Perfect. Next up.
Next up, let's have Mohammed for Gaia.
Hey everybody, my name is Mohammed, which is the most common name in the world. So there might be a couple of you out there. I am from a company called Gaia, and I'm here to tell you the story. And it all starts with once upon a time. In the urban land, there used to be hundreds of thousands of people, all who wanted to grow plants, but they kept killing them. And it was frustrating. They didn't know when to water them, they didn't know what they were doing wrong, or how much water to give to the plants. Now, like every good story that has a hero, our hero was called the sprite, and the sprite is a small character. Sits inside the plant and it tells you when your plant needs to be watered. Okay? And we are running the beta program right now, which is limited to Toronto and their surroundings. We only have 15 spots left. If you're interested in shipping this product and the features, come talk to me or go to plantsprite.com. That's all.
And your name is?
My name is Mohammed, which is the most common name.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, who's up? Who's next?
Next up, let's have Utsav for SoManyErrands.com.
Hi guys, my name is Utsav and I'm the founder of SoManyErrands.com. I usually like to spend my weekends doing things that I really like biking or going on a long road trip. Instead, my wife makes me run errands around the house. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this problem. Running errands can really take up a lot of time, which means you have less time to spend with your family or doing things that you really care about. Luckily, there's a website that can help you solve this problem. SoManyErrands.com is an online marketplace where you can hire errand runners to run errands for you, or you can become an errand runner and make money. So we've been active for about 1 year, and we already have about 30,000 errand runners all over the US and Canada. And so yeah, if you want to become an errand runner or if you want to hire errand runners, simply sign up for free at SoManyErrands.com.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, let's have Karan for Port. He's trying to change the world of transportation.
Hey everyone, I'm Karan from Port. We're a startup just down the road. We're working on city-to-city transit and regional transit. So today, if you ever had to travel between cities, it's kind of a nightmare. It's more expensive than it needs to be, takes far too long, and it's just a horrible experience. Port helps you travel between cities in half the time and half the price of public transit, and also to events happening in other cities like sports games, meetups, concerts, and conferences. We recently did our first music festival partnership in Hamilton. We ended up making more revenue in our first 24 hours than we had in the past 2 months combined. We're on track to 10x our revenue, so check it out. It's the fastest way you're going to travel between cities, way better than the bus or the train. And you can travel at 1/10 the price of an Uber. So it's Port, PORTAPP.co, portapp.co. Check it out, so it's probably the closest you're going to get to teleporting. Thank you.
All right. Amen.
Karan.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, that's here for the Founders Institute. Thanks, guys. I will share that for sure. All right, who's up? Red Pine, you're up, guys. It's here for them. Yeah, let's go. Woo-hoo.
Right in the mic. So hi guys, my name is Dylan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Red Pine Music. We're a platform that's trying to enable musicians to crowdfund concerts. So most of you probably don't know a ton about how the music industry works. So I want to give a quick kind of introduction on how that process works. Over the last 10 years, the music industry has changed drastically. As consumers, you guys went from buying albums to digitally downloading albums, and now everybody streams music. And kind of while Spotify took over that space, what's happened in the background is that it's forced musicians to change the way that they actually make money. In the past, you would see musicians typically go on tours around the world, exposing their music to new markets, gaining new audiences, and then releasing new albums, and that's how they cashed in. That's how they made their money. What we're actually seeing now is musicians using streaming platforms like Spotify to get discovered all over the world, and then trying to make their money by touring to those places where their fans are. So it's kind of the opposite of what it was before. The problem, though, is that when we lost that data point of physical album sales, artists now are struggling to figure out where their actual paying fans are. So even if Spotify says Dylan streamed his song 10 times in Toronto, I have a free Spotify account, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to pay to see him at concert. In the past, if I bought that artist's album, they know that they have a paying fan of Toronto. The best example of one of these failures is Sean Desmond. He recently made the headlines in Canada Day of this year, where he did a concert at Wasaga Beach. He's from Ontario, so everyone thought this would be a great show. It cost over $100,000 to organize, and in the 3 weeks leading up to the show, it had 17 tickets sold. And we discovered it because it appeared all over our news feeds, and while it was unfortunate for him, it was a great case study for us because it shows the problem in the industry today better than anything. So the problem in the industry is that it's made huge shifts over the last 10 years, and artists are trying to figure out how they make money. Live performances are where consumers are actually spending their money, but it's hard to figure out where they are, and it can be costly. Our solution is to help artists not only find where those fans are, but actually use crowdfunding to de-risk the booking process. So how Red Pine works, I'll act like Sean Desmond just went on our website. He would pick Wasaga Beach, or the specific venue that he's looking to play. He would pick the date, and then he would actually set a goal of number of fans that he wants to see commit to the show and actually pledge to buy a ticket before he incurs all the costs and locks it in. He kind of calls to his best fans to say, hey, I want to do this, I want to come to your city, please support me. If it reaches its goal, it's a kind of simultaneous and automated process where everyone that pledged, their credit cards are charged, they receive a ticket, the date is locked in with the venue, and that's where you can start incurring expenses because you know that the show is going to be good. So how we make money, I'm not sure what happened. How we actually make money, very similar to any ticketing website, we take a 15% cut on all tickets sold through a service fee. This is only charged, of course, if the show happens. We also, by accident, when we started this platform, built a really great venue management software that venues could use to manage all their bookings, and of course, it would ensure to the venue any show booked at their venue would be a great and profitable one as well. So we charge a subscription-based model for that. And then something that we're really excited about that I can't put a number on right now is the analytics. We talked about that missing data point when album sales disappeared, and record labels are always looking for who's up and coming, who are people interested in, who are they going to see. That doesn't exist right now, and we're saying that we're going to provide it. And to give kind of an idea of what this data looks like, record labels to artists are a lot like investors to startups. So artists will perform, they'll try to apply to these record labels, they'll really try to get them to pick them up and support their growth and kickstart them to become something, the next big thing. Same as startups. But the data point that we're missing now is artists don't even know how many people are buying tickets to their own concerts. And record labels don't even know what sales are like for these artists and how they're actually doing and how their fan bases are growing. They really don't have a lot. You'd think in an era of data, we'd have a lot, but we don't right now, and we're here to fill that. In terms of the size of the market, this is from Stats Canada, and this is looking at the events and promotions industry in Canada, North America, and globally. So that's 1.6 billion in Canada, scales up to 25 billion globally. Of course, Drake doesn't need to use our platform. Those big guys don't need to use our platform. So we've narrowed it down to an obtainable market of about 3.13 billion. In terms of our competition, nobody is really doing crowdfunding specifically for concerts. However, there is a company in the UK called Show For Me. They do something a little bit similar where they incorporate that fan engagement to crowdfund, but they don't actually have relationships with the venues. So when a show is booked, everyone gets tickets, but if the venue that they wanted to play at is not available anymore, the date changes or the location changes, and it's a huge issue that's not solved. There's a couple others. We Demand is kind of another one, but instead of the artists starting the crowdfunding campaign, fans can say, hey, I'd like to see that artist come to Toronto, and they start the campaign. The problem is that there's no guarantee that the artist will even care or go or even know about it. In terms of, oops, sorry about that. In terms of where we are right now, so we did a 10-month alpha in April of 2017. I was really proof of concept, take it slow, actually attend the shows and sit in the back and see what happens. And then we launched in a beta in January 2018. And this opened it up, but not putting any money behind marketing, just saying anyone can try it, anyone can use it, and letting people adopt it that way. We plan to launch in full in March of this coming year. It'll have a couple of launch events in Toronto and a couple other cities, and then we hope to branch it out from there. In terms of what we've actually done in our alpha and our beta, so far we've had 1,000 fans sign up on the site. 75% of those have made purchases. We've had 341 musicians sign up on the platform, and that's all through word of mouth from the first 50 that used us in alpha. No real marketing behind that. And we've seen 63 shows successfully booked through the platform as a result, which is fantastic for us. In terms of some of the softer traction that we've had, we just went through the YorkU Accelerate Up program, which was fantastic. We actually took home both cash awards that they give to the top 3 performing companies. We also are getting some mentorship from Universal Music Group right now, which is fantastic because they're the ones that we're hoping will acquire us one day. And then the Canadian Consulate in LA is actually recommending us to the Techstars program, so it's great that you guys are here as well, which is awesome as well. The one thing that we did want to do though is actually see, is there interest in what we're doing? Yeah, it's cool that we've grown through word of mouth, but what happens when we throw messaging out there? So we ran a test Instagram ad, nothing expensive at all. We're all working on a shoestring budget at the time. But what we actually saw was a $2 cost per registration just for artists on the website. And this was just in Toronto, and we actually increased the artist base from 190 to what you see now in the course of 2 weeks, which was great. In terms of our financial projections, when we launch, we're looking for about $300,000 in revenue in the first year based off what we believe we can get, which will scale up to about $2 million in year 2 and then $11 million in year 3 as we start to push into the US markets. In terms of our actual team, my 2 co-founders in the back and myself are all here tonight. We started this, we didn't know anything about music. We had friends that were musicians, but really we saw a problem, we had a theory, and we ran an alpha to actually see if it was true. Of course, you can't grow a company without some sort of expertise, so as we entered beta, we brought on Jody and Terry and Janet. Jody and Terry are a producer, a musician, a composer that's won an Emmy, and then we brought in Janet, who was the former VP of Communications at Chapters Indigo. She helped scale up the Kobo e-reader up to their acquisition. In terms of how we're looking to raise about $500,000 right now in exchange for 18% equity. The majority of that will be spent, of course, on marketing, getting the word out there, having those promoted events with some influential artists. But we also want to scale up the mobile app, the analytics platform, and of course the legal and miscellaneous costs that come with all of that. So yeah, I mentioned that we're looking to raise about $500,000 in equity right now in exchange for 18%, and we're doing a rolling close date. Well, we closed the first one a couple of days back with the first $55,000 raised, and now we're looking to continue that. And then in terms of an exit strategy, I mentioned Universal Music Group. They are the prime candidate. We're hoping that they want the data that we want so badly that they want exclusive access to it, so none of the other record labels can have it. So that's the most obvious exit point for us. But also we're looking at concert and ticketing agencies as well. The Live Nation that owns that top 20% of the market, and then the Drakes and everyone else, maybe getting that bottom 80% as well is what we're hoping. And then of course, if everything's going great, public IPO is something that we are always open to. And then that's my presentation. Thank you guys.
That was good. Thank you very much. Prathna. Brian. Sorry. Oh, it's good now. Try it now.
Oh, perfect. Dylan, I think you did a great job. I have a couple of questions, and I recognize you can't answer them, but maybe this is something you can think of in terms of these are the questions investors are thinking of as you present. Firstly, what is Nuestra? As in, what's the story? What does that name mean? Then I want to say that your introduction in the beginning, as you talked about the industry overview and describing the problem, I think you did a great job of that. In order to attain the 300K in revenue that you projected up there in your first year and then say 2 million in the year after, sometimes investors like to see what sort of milestones you want to achieve in the near term so as to get to that 300K. I wanted to also know with the 63 performances that had been completed and transactions completed on your platform, was there any revenue that came out of that? I have a couple others. I'm sorry, I can hear that. What happens when a show is canceled? That's also something I'd like to know. And in terms of competition, I know you had highlighted 3 companies. How difficult do you think it will be for any of those to make a slight adjustment and get into the market that you're targeting? And that's all from me.
Sure, steal all my questions. I'll echo that it was a very good presentation. I liked the pace. You covered all the bases, which is good because we often see not all the bases being covered. Prathna touched on competition. I think that's important to really focus on what else is happening in your space right now. Are you completely alone? Investors are actually uncomfortable with that. They like to see that maybe there's a U.S. equivalent to you that's doing something similar, and maybe that's another potential company that could acquire you at a later date. I had a question about just what you've done to date and how you plan to market. So think about that and how investors will be wondering, okay, 500K sounds like a lot of money, but you're in a space where marketing is everything, right? You've got to get the message out in a big way in order to get the numbers that you need. As an example, so you had 1,000 signups in terms of customers, and you had over, I think, 500 shows. There's around two tickets per show if you wanted to divide those two. So your real goal is to get a lot of signups to make this thing viable. So think about how much marketing money you need to do that. So other than that, very good presentation. Thanks.
Good job addressing a untapped market. And the best part I like about your presentation was that you mentioned data analytics, which is very dear to my heart. Every company needs more work done in data analytics. Now, I think your ideal investor would probably be Drake or somebody like that. You actually would want somebody really famous to get on your site and book some venue, even if it's a tiny venue that they don't make money in. Now, if you can never sign up one of them, I'm next, I'll invest for sure. Because now it is a platform. Building platforms are challenging. You need the community to all get together, everybody to recognize you as the central core community, all the venues, all the artists, everybody to use you. So you do need something to kick-start that, and getting famous is probably a good start.
No, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right, who's got questions? Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll come back.
Hey, just curious how venues are able to commit their space before they have certainty of getting the crowdfunding.
Yeah, so great question. And one of the things that's interesting that we really learned about the industry early on is that venues all have holds. So if I know I want December 12th, the venue will put a hold. And if somebody else wants December 12th, they'll get a hold number 2. So there's this whole process that venues operate on, and then whoever wants it, like if hold number 2 challenges and says, I want to book it today, I have everything finalized, then the initial person has about 24 hours or 48 or whatever the arrangement is to do it. So how it works on Red Pine is they do put a hold on the date, but we also have the relationship with the venue. So we're able to get a bit of preferential treatment because the venue knows going in, this is the process, this is the goal, this is what's going to happen. It's not that other guy that wants to book that date. This is actually, the show is only happening if it's hitting a certain threshold. And because venues only make money on food and alcohol sales, they want to prioritize shows coming through our platform because it's guaranteeing the bodies and the head count in there, and that's where they make their money.
Hi. So I'm trying to understand how it's positioned from a consumer point of view. So are you going to advertise the event, or is the artist going to advertise?
Yeah, great question. So we don't really advertise to the fans themselves. I think there's a lot of parallels to something like Kickstarter, where the artist is going to make the campaign, and that's where they use this as a tool for fan engagement. And they say, listen, we want this show to happen, but if you actually want it to happen, show your support. And they call on their best fans to make it happen. The best example I can give, we have an artist that's looking to do a show in Mexico because Spotify said they have a lot of listeners in Mexico. They want to use Red Pine to put a campaign there because they believe they have fans, and then they're calling on those fans to say, hey, make this show happen and we will come to your city, when maybe we would have never come otherwise.
So from a competition point of view, I don't know if you have not listed meetup.com, but I would say it can become your competitor in terms of if I'm a small artist and I'm looking to, let's say, sell 500 tickets, I'm just going to go and create a meetup event. Meetup does usually broadcast an email to everyone with those interests. People will come, sign up, they pay. How is that not a competition? I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, and I would say the one big one is the relationships with the venues, where we actually incorporate the entire process. But the other one is that an artist incurs a lot of cost, whether there's a cost of booking the venue or a cost of promoting to those people. Whenever the show is canceled, there's definitely going to be some sort of cost incurred, but with our platform, because everything's contingent on the booking, and that's where money starts changing hands, that's where it's a little different. That's where we take away the risk.
Very cool. All right, last question.
So I think your platform is a great idea. Like, I have friends in the music industry and think that's great. But I'm still kind of confused in terms of that gap you're talking about the venue holds, right? So if you're starting this campaign as an artist, what's the duration that they have to hit their target? And that duration, does that dictate how long a venue's going to hold the place for this artist?
Yep, great question. So this depends, of course, on each individual venue. We built this platform knowing that we don't want to make this harder for venues. We want to make it easier. So it'll depend on the venue. When you select a date as an artist at a certain venue, it will actually tell you the campaign needs to end by this time. And typically a venue will have their minimum requirements. The artist can set something that's higher if they want. But really, it ensures that the venue gets the answer that they need, of course, within a reasonable amount of time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Let's give him a hand. Good job, buddy. All right, so all of you people out there today, how many of you like to jump at the moment to do a 30-second pitch? Everybody's like, I don't know, man. So this segment, what we do is we have 6 startups to come up. You have 30 seconds to pitch your business. And again, this is a great way to network and meet people because they're going to understand who you are. So 6 companies, come on up. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's roll. Come on, you guys can do this. Don't be afraid. All right, we're going to do 3 then. All right, 3 it is. 3 it is. Oh, we got 4. All right. All right, here you go. So you got 30 seconds. You got to tell your name, what your business is, and what you're looking to do in 30 seconds. Done.
Good evening. Thank you very much for coming here. My name is Mohammed, and I'm building a financial and transport application. It's called eBat. Our vision in the company is to ease the access for your money, to send it and receive it, and to buy your transport tickets, metros, buses, and hopefully planes in the future, as well as paying your bills, scanning your checks, and skipping all the lineups to go to the banks in order to get your money through to your accounts, as well as sending the money to all your beloved ones if they don't have it. Mohammed, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, you're up.
I'm up. Hello, my name is Philip Goslin. I'm a film director and producer for the upcoming film Severance Day. Development is underway, the budget is done, and the script is on its final draft. At the end of November, we will approach A-list Hollywood actors and enter pre-production. We need $30K to close the current round, which offers the best deal, and more info at severancedy.com, or of course, come and talk to me. Thank you.
And your name is?
Philip.
Wicked. Thank you, Philip.
Hello, my name is Colby Sharma. I'm from Firefly Global Legal Technologies. We sell a predictive AI solution to personal injury lawyers and law firms. It's meant to determine whether the claim would succeed or not based on the pattern of how like cases have been decided, and to know whether they can succeed or not and what damages the client could receive. The size of the market in Canada is $20 billion alone. for significant increase in the United States and UK. Thank you so much. Look forward to taking questions soon.
And your name is?
Colby Sharma.
Nice job. Thank you, sir. All right, last one. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Bill Wang, and I'm founder of my company was Wrong Via Solution. That is relevant with delivery the items, and I'm looking for the partner and the investors. So actually, the app is just building now, and it's testing. So I'm coming back and introduce the details later on. So back to you.
Is?
My name is Bill Wang, and I like to show this one is here.
I like it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Driftscape, you're up.
Hey, you're missing one. What, Jeffrey? You're missing? Oh, did I miss someone? Oh, everybody's good? Yeah. Okay, good. Sorry. Okay. Pointing click. Is that one? Okay. Wait till there?
Yep.
Set the timer. Ready to roll? All right. Do it.
All right. My name is Chloe Duisberg. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Driftscape, and we're looking to raise a seed round of $500,000. So Driftscape lets you explore your city in a whole new way. Wherever you are, you'll have diverse perspectives from local experts at your fingertips. We provide a platform via our mobile app for local organizations, cultural attractions, business improvement areas, and more to share site-specific content so that you can see it all in one place. We already have 20 organizations sharing their stories on the platform and over 2,000 points of interest in Toronto, so there's a lot to explore. For organizations that want to get their stories out there, Driftscape's a powerful tool, and for users, it's a great way to explore what's around you. The problem that we're solving is this. Cultural attractions are failing to connect with their audience. So cultural attractions have all sorts of rich content, amazing stories, local histories, tours, all sorts of hidden gems. And when people discover them, they're really interested and they're fascinated and thrilled to find them. But currently, this is really hard to do. So I know about this problem because 5 years ago, I started an organization called Track Toronto. We collected over 100 songs that reference specific places around the city of Toronto. And whenever people found us, they were thrilled to discover our project, explore the content, but we were hard to find and we needed a better tool to connect with our audience. When we started talking to other organizations, we found that the feedback was super consistent and super clear. Everyone has the same problem and everyone's looking for a tool to solve it. Whoops. There we go. So, on Driftscape, organizations can seamlessly present their stories to users in the place where they're most relevant and do it in a beautiful way without having to reinvent the wheel. Imagine you're in a new neighborhood and you'd love to get out and explore, but you're not sure where to head. With Driftscape, you can just start walking and get notified when there's something interesting nearby. So if you're on Front Street in Toronto, you get a notification letting you know you're near St. Lawrence Market. You can go check it out, you can read about its historical significance, then you can keep exploring to see that you're also at the spot where Canada's first electric telegraph was sent from in 1846. And if you want, there's an audio tour of this neighborhood also. You can tune in and hear the story of how Jarvis Street got its name. So the city's full of stories like these, and we're here to help you discover them. So for users, this means free access to a variety of content providers making high-quality content all in one place. And you can tailor the app to what you're interested in so you get notified when there's something nearby. And for our platform customers, we essentially give them the benefits of having their own app without having to have the sole responsibility of attracting and keeping users. So we make it really easy for them to highlight their content so that users can find it quickly. We ensure that they appear alongside the best local content. And we're constantly improving the platform, which means they always have access to the best and latest features. The next feature we'll be adding is an augmented reality view. So imagine you're walking down the street and you now enter a business improvement area that's active on Driftscape. You'll get a notification to tell you where you are. This is a notification the BIA can customize, let you know the neighborhood you're in and something, whatever they want to most showcase to you on that particular day. And then you'll also see a huge subset of new content that appears only when you enter that region. So this allows business improvement areas or cultural attractions to essentially just provide way more detail about what's happening on a local level, and it also means they can create special offers that you need to be on site to see. You can keep walking, continue to explore this exclusive content, continue to get notified when there's interesting stuff nearby, and soon you'll be an expert in the neighborhood and you'll have a great story to tell all your friends. So we've recently pivoted to a software as a service model. This is something that came out of the regional feature that I was just talking about. It really enables our customers to really customize the user experience. So now we offer that to all sorts of organizations as a platform. And we have pricing ranging from $99 to $599 a month. And we're targeting 5 main customer segments: cultural organizations, outdoor attractions, festivals, business improvement areas, and municipalities. When a user is interested in the content that one of these partners is providing, they're likely interested in many others. So there's a lot of good cross-marketing and greater appeal for users. And these 5 segments represent over 50,000 potential customers in North America. So in 3 years, we intend to have 800 customers for a market penetration of 1.5%. These are the organizations that are currently using Driftscape to share their content. We're very excited to be working with Now Magazine, Heritage Toronto, Toronto Public Library, West Queen West Business Improvement Area, and many more. So part of our mission is to boost the local voices, to support local arts, culture, and heritage. And when our partners hear that mission, it resonates with them, and they're keen to join us and help us to grow that. So our current partners have a social media following of over 1 million people, and they're helping us to build our audience. We launched our iOS app in November of last year and our Android app in May of this year. In August, we pivoted to a SaaS model, and we landed our first 2 paying customers. Next year, we're hoping to raise a seed round of $500,000, which will enable us to grow our team, expand our marketing efforts, and enable our regional growth, which includes some features that will help us scale our customer base quickly. And by the end of next year, we hope to have 75 customers. In 2020, we'll be ready to raise the Series A. We'll expand into 6 regions and have 350 customers. And in 2021, we'll be in 14 regions with 800 customers. So it is a competitive space. What sets us apart is that we offer our customers the benefits of their own app with the benefits of the platform at the same time. So there's many other apps that offer a tour platform. These often have sparse content, and typically users have to pay for the best quality tours. There's also several points of interest platforms. These typically have crowdsourced content, so very variable, inconsistent quality, and arts and culture content tends to be drowned out by restaurants and entertainment on these types of platforms. And then there's the white label solutions that allow an organization to create an app that does everything they need, but then they're solely responsible for promoting it and attracting users, and this leads to really poor user retention generally. So we offer the benefits of a white label and the benefits of the platform at the same time. We also, of all our competitors, have the best rating on the App Store, and our users have had some nice things to say about us. So for where we're at right now, we incorporated in September of last year. We've raised $290,000 of angel investment so far. We have an iOS and Android minimum viable product in the market, as well as a content web management portal that 27 organizations are using. And we're currently only active in the city of Toronto. Our product's been available for a short time. We haven't yet done any paid marketing. So we're hoping that once we get investment and once we get more traction, we can really begin to ramp up the marketing efforts and get more downloads and MAUs. In 3 years, we project having $4 million in annual recurring revenue with $1 million in annual profit, with a customer acquisition cost of $3,400 and a customer lifetime value of $48,000, giving us an LTV to CAC ratio of 14:1 with an anticipated churn of 7%. We have an experienced team of 5 split between Toronto and Waterloo. I have 10 years of experience as a design professional and a deep knowledge of local arts and culture. I left my career as an architect 3 years ago to pursue this work, and through our shared mission, joined the rest of the team to found Driftscape. Dan, whose name is weirdly missing, but he's over there. Dan is our VP of Engineering, and he's built dozens of applications for iOS, Android, mobile, and desktop and web, and led many past successful startup teams. And Don Cowan is our angel investor and an advisor. He's a professor emeritus from the University of Waterloo. He's the founder of the computer science department there and the computer systems group. So in summary, our MVP is now in the market with 27 organizations already using it. We've got a strong and experienced team, and in 3 years, we plan to have $4 million in annual recurring revenue with $1 million in annual profit, and our ask is currently for a $500,000 seed round to build our team and our marketing efforts and expand our geographic reach. Thanks.
Awesome. Angels.
Good presentation. I like the pace again. A couple of questions. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but from an investor perspective, it's always good to say, what is the 500K to mean as much as to you? I know you need the money. What will we get in return? So that's always a good thing to keep in mind. I'm surprised you didn't talk maybe about being a hyper-local TripAdvisor. Because in a way, people look at TripAdvisor when they're going somewhere, what can I see, what are the highlights and whatever, and maybe that's a good positioning statement because everybody knows what TripAdvisor is, possibility. I think you're probably on the right track. You maybe talked more about how all of these BIAs have marketing budgets that they need to spend to promote their different things, and so you could tap into that budget quite nicely. So that's where your money is going to come from. I wouldn't focus too much on where you're going to be 4 years out because you are a startup and it's really early days. So more focus on the momentum that you believe you can generate through what you're doing. Good presentation.
I love platforms and I hate platforms. Platforms are great because they're scalable, but how do you get there is always a problem. Like, you have a good product, you have some good partners and content, and how do you get it really viral? Get people, you have to consider social influencers or something else, and somehow you got to get. And then from the product side, you did mention that you want to have an augmented reality mode. That sounds interesting to me. I think you currently, I actually downloaded your app, and you currently don't even have a navigation to Google, like Google navigation. So you might want to add that. Because after all, it's about improving the traveler experience. That's what your product is trying to do, right? So I know you focused a lot about partners and content, but think about that app. How do you improve the traveler experience? Good job.
Hi, Chloe. I think you had presented to Maple Leaf Angels about a year ago. I'm not 100%, but I think you did. Right. So the real piece of feedback or the takeaway that was in my mind at that time was that you need to go to the city and get the cities on board. So I wonder if there's any progress on that front, and maybe I'll speak to you later about it. The other thing with regards to your pitch specifically, you speak about the customer a lot. Sometimes it does get confusing, maybe because it is a two-sided marketplace. You want to state very clearly as to which side you're targeting. I know you talked about $99 a month to $5.99 per month. Presumably that is for the partner side. For the end user side, is that an unpaid? Is it always going to be a free download? That kind of thing. So maybe good to clarify up front in your presentation. The two paying customers that you've secured, I saw pilots. Maybe speak to the sales cycle and how long it took you to get there, and who they are, if you're able to disclose. That's always nice to hear. The $290,000 that you've raised in angel funding to date, you mentioned that nothing was really spent on marketing. So where did it go, right? So maybe speak to how you've spent that money. And the last question, just comment, is the advisor / investor that you have. Dan, was it, or Don? Don. Yeah, and he is a founder of the computer science department in a faculty. So what's the relevance? How did he get involved? What sort of value is he able to add aside from just an investor? That's always nice to know as well. But you did a good job.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There you go. All right. Who has any questions, comments, thoughts?
Just a quick note, I downloaded the app right in your pitch. I love it.
Thank you.
Done. Sold. Next. Any other questions? I have a question. How does it work on scalability when you have, you focused on Toronto at this moment? If I go to New York or somewhere else, how do you plan to expand? Are people going to start looking when they're there and say, oh, I can't find this? Or do you have any sort of AI or automation which will just start building itself over there? I know that sounds very futuresque. I'm in some other country and boom, it starts building for me. How are you guys going after that?
So in order to get the depth and quality of content that we want to have, it does take some boots on the ground, essentially. So we need to essentially learn about that new region. We have some of our current partners are active across Canada or in a variety of regions, so that's one entry point. And when we do go to a new region, we offer it for free to a number of organizations to sort of seed local content, get some great stuff in there, get some local traction, get some promotion in that local space. And then, of course, so that's sort of the bottom up and then the top down approach of going directly to the municipality and trying to partner with them as well.
Very good. Next question.
I was just wondering if, when you have a partner sign up, I guess they're trying to get people to come to their attraction or whatever it is. Are you doing any tracking from it's kind of like marketing for them. Is there any tracking of how it's working for them? How many people show up or anything like that?
We are tracking essentially whenever a user visits any entry or any post on the app, that's all tracked. So we're not tracking users' locations at this point in time, but we're tracking everything that they visit, which gives us a pretty good indication of their location.
And that transfers back to the paying customer?
Yeah.
Very cool. Another question? How does it work for hiring for content, and are you using social? So content-wise, are you hiring writers to go out and kick the streets? Social, are you trying to pull in the Instagram world with all the designs and people taking selfies? Is that going to get populated in?
No, so what we're trying to do is go to organizations that have already produced content. Often they've built their own app in the past, which is now defunct, or they've created tours, but they don't really have a good way of delivering them. So we're going to organizations that already have the content. They have it and it's not being utilized. Of course, they're going to build on it and make things specifically for this platform as well, but that's frankly been one of the easiest things, is the content is already there and people are happy to just have another way to get it out there.
So I think, Jeff, you said it well, that there's a lot of budgets with the libraries and all of these places that are sitting on, I'm going to say, lots of money. And it sounds like they'd be a great place for you to start talking to them and peeling back the onion on how they can share some of those dollars to build up the product. Awesome.
We hope so.
Well, I thank you very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for coming out tonight. So before we do round up, there is going to be cake. There is going to be cake. So Laura, Laura's coming up to say something. Oh, all right. Well, here, say something while I look in the bowl. You gotta say something.
Roll off. How do you say that?
Roll off. Where's roll off? Roll off. See him? I seen him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
You win a Marshall t-shirt.
Roll off's amazing, everybody. You guys have to meet this guy. He has so many businesses and does so many things all around the world. He's most traveled guy, and because he's a supporter of what we do, it rocks anyways. So meet the guy, Roland. Awesome. Say hi to him.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Roland. So yeah, I believe they're gonna bring up some cake, which is again for all of Laura's hard work. She got to say one word, which was great, so she's contributed. Maybe next time we'll get her to say a few more words, but it's always appreciated, Laura. Outside of that, I want to thank you guys for coming out. You're always the best. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Big hand for the Angels. For the team and the sponsors, thank you guys for all your help. And if you guys are interested, stay, hang out, chat, network, because that's what we're always here for. And downstairs, as we mentioned, Founders Institute is having a glass of wine as well, so they're certainly worth going down and checking out after you guys mingle around here and eat some cake. So thank you again for coming out. We'll see you guys on November 13th. We'll post details on opn.ninja. If you have an interest to pitch, or even come up and do a talk. We're looking for people that want to try and do something different and come up and do a 3-minute talk about something cool. Reach out to us, or if you want to invest and be part of that community, reach out to info@opn.ninja. And looking forward to speaking to all of you, and have a brilliant night. Thank you.